fine, I guess, but the HOV, which from 97 products, 35 to 40 of them are Bluetooth. And like, if your phone doesn't have MagSafe, like if it has the C-type history, let's see how many bridges that has. So I already crossed through 2 bridges. There's 3. Hello and good morning, guys. It is to a foggy start this Tuesday morning, and it smells like grilled chicken on the barbecue. They'll be like, good thing you cook steak at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah, just like me. And there was this Mercedes EQS that has 4 Access OK stickers. I'm like, fine, I guess, but the HOV access had expired last Wednesday, so it's been almost a week already. So it doesn't matter anymore, but there's still plenty of people that keep their stickers, Access OK stickers on the back of their electric vehicle. Fine, I guess. But today is the day of the Amazon Prime sales, which from 97 products, 35 to 40 of them are Bluetooth associated, from what I found, with one of them being an Anker power bank, which works with the MagSafe, of course, but it also has a socket. And I'm like, what? And I also found it's one of the products that is on high demand. Like, if your phone doesn't have MagSafe, like if it has the C-type, then it is still chargeable with the power bank with the socket. If yours is the iOS charger type, then it's not gonna work. There's a couple of spiders hanging up here. That's crazy. They're barely moving, but it's still crazy to see this. And as well as that, we have almost no wind whatsoever. You know, like when we're writing on WhatsApp and talking in person and all that, there's a bunch of chats about why are we saying lol so much. Like, it's as if I'm going on one of my craziest adventures, or I'm reflecting on something that has been a stressful experience, and then years later it becomes, oh, that was crazy, lol. But especially in a case that it would be more of a survival story. Just like one of my most tense childhood experiences that I had back when I was 7 years old. I got lost in the Aktor camp in southwest Turkey. I was lost for about 15 to 20 minutes. So as I continue my way through the trail, well, it's a prehistoric timeline. So as I go all the way around the trail, you see, so it goes up until Roosevelt. Well, I'm not gonna go all the way until the, oh my god. This dude is funny. He's running right on the rail right here with no fear. It's quite amazing that he could run all the way through that. It's like some kid at the Lifetime Fitness Club on that rock climbing wall, climbing all the way up to the top and attempting pull-ups. The trail of the Irvine history. Let's see how many bridges that has. So I already crossed through 2 bridges. There's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 bridges through this whole trail. El Toro, known as the Bull, but back in the day, during the Second World War in 1942, they have constructed a Marine Corps air station at the area. So this is the area that they have covered 3,918 acres of this land to construct a air base to get jets during the Second World War. Holy cow, I love that drawing that they have done here of this swordfish. Yeah, the eyeball too, but that's a fascinating drawing. They even done a pumpkin here. It's one of those places that they love to do chalk graffiti quite a lot, but honestly, I love that swordfish drawing. And this rocket, whoa, look at that! You see some lightning coming out of that. That's fascinating. Like, it's as if you're playing Aerosmith, Black Sabbath kind of rock. And that fish over there too. That's nice, but I can see some part of its body is, I don't want to say missing, but at times that they get cleaning done in this area, part of it is washed out. And one key thing about the city of Irvine, it's a smoke-free city. Yeah, like they tend to create a lot of strategies in an effort to keep the city clear of any emissions and taking some steps to prevent air pollution and all other stuff that would be some hazards of climate change. Well, there's a point in that, I guess, like creating facilities that would help reduce emissions and as well studying effects of smoke, which is worth it. Back in that base again, and yeah, speaking going on as well. So here's some more information about that air base, which had actually opened to aviation in 1943 on March 17th, 1943. It was in use for 56 years until 1999. On to the Pacific Jamboree. So this is the tour involving Boy Scouts that took place in the Ranch of Irvine. It was a 7-day time period between July 17th and 23rd of 1953. So this was the Jamboree tour to Boy Scouts in 1953. And after some more years, they have started a process of building the University of Irvine, buying about 1,000 acres of land, and the project had started in 1960, and then 5 years later, in 1965, they opened. So the 1965-1966 school year was the first of that campus. So this campus has been there for 60 years, and during its first school year, a total of 1,589 students have attended. And now we're approaching midday as it's 11:40, and there's plenty of baseball activity on the left there, and it's a nice progressive start to the day on a step count of 4,736 so far. Still a good day to push for over 10,000 steps, especially after last week where my form has been very slow, particularly over some dictation studies. And there we go. Now I am back at the starting point where I walk Cypress Park. Here's islands all the way over there, and now the sun is slowly coming out. And now the sun's come out, and I got in. Holy crap. This is nowhere near to be true, you guys. No way it actually says that. Oh. 117, really? Oh, guys. Here we go again. There's a whole lot of keep right signs, and the road work is still going on. So yeah, now the temperature reads 87. It says 117 when I start the engine. And I'm like, holy crap. And good thing that at the light that you go down the slope, and the left turn lane is open this time. Last week, that lane was blocked. And that's kind of one thing that's a lot of people lost, and also that left turn that, you know, when the yellow lines, which you would get in and typically you would make a left, just like when I would get into my house. Well, that road was used for the opposite direction and gets kind of edgy at some points where a lot of, oh hell, obviously that's not the right spot just yet. You know, I heard in music class at the beginning of the semester as such that when you're performing, the worst thing you can do is give up in the middle of the process. It's like, let's see how I'm gonna be now. It's like, oh, there. So assume that you're playing the piano while in a concert and you're intending to play D flat, but you play D by accident and you stop right there, you cut it off. Like, that's the worst of times to give up.
It's a little overwhelming sometimes, and my dad's health is not the best. He's fallen a couple times within the last month, and
kind of crazy if you recall in February, March, when it was kind of the same brutal bit of reality. Well, that was just a random as hell kind of talk about the harsh reality. Oh, now we have to keep like within that yellow lane because, okay, whatever. But about, yeah, I have no intention to turn left, but there's just a random talk about the hard reality of seeing your parents age and how you take care of your parents. It was kind of a story with me as well. 6, 7, even 8 months ago. Like, I've been fighting for a long time to find out what the infection was. You know, when the time that my dad had been battling this infection, where one time we had got him to do a stress test where he would run on a treadmill, and that had failed. And another day we came up with a different formula, which at the end we slept for most of the day, and we've been battling to find out what it really was for a long time, until last week, where on Tuesday he had one of his teeth pulled out, and it was discovered that that tooth had the infection. And so we found the problem at the end. I'm not taking this too personally, but it does feel like a win because on Sunday we got to do a long walk around the mall, did a bunch of shopping, and he stood up to it. So I can say that he battled an infection. Oh shit. Wow. Jeez, I just ran a red light. Like, on a red arrow. I mean, I'm not gonna say I ran a red light, but I ran a red light when, like, I had a red arrow and I accidentally turned on that red arrow. Oh, fucking hell. What am I gonna do? Yeah, that's not something I was intending to do. And yeah, I would make a left there, but I could still, but yeah, because that's a lane closure there. Well, whatever. I'm gonna call that it for the vlog today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.